Okie dokie, today I'm quite excited because I've defeated the Pokemon trainers and I'm going on to the gym leader. Today, back on the main course of the training, I always train for planche push ups and planche holds specifically. And the main part of my training is with the band, so that's like the main mission. But sometimes, if you just keep going on the same stuff, you hit a wall and you can't progress. That's why, like the last few trainings, I was doing different stuff with the straddle punch. But today we're getting back to the bands, trying to get 6 push-ups now. So we left off at 5 for 3 sets. Hopefully I can get 6 now. And yeah, from there on, I'm just going to try and keep increasing the amount of push-ups. I don't know how it'll go. I'm feeling a bit drained. I think maybe the 16 kilometers or 10 miles from yesterday might have something to do with it. But we'll see how it goes. I'm quite excited. So, like the previous planche training, I was just playing around like a bit. And basically, if you're just playing around, you don't really dash out your power, right? So, like the mindset going into your training is like 50% of the power you put out. So if you just like do a set, talk with your friends, that's good. That's good, of course. But if you're not in the zone, then of course your performance will lack as well. And today I'm going back in the zone. I'm going to try and give it my all and see how many push-ups I can get. All right, so this was way more difficult than expected. Felt way heavier than last time. So I wasn't able to press anymore. Last time I did 5 push-ups, but then I did the press afterwards. And this time I did 6, but I wasn't able to press a single set. So, maybe it's a bit of adjusting back to these push-ups. Maybe I'm a bit tired. I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses. It was just difficult today. And next time we'll see how it goes when I try 7 push-ups. Anyway, maybe some of you are wondering, why am I using a band and weight on my feet? Now, the reason for that is because oftentimes when you're training and you have like a hurdle, the hurdle is not only like just adding more weight, it's also in your mind. Like if you have a specific number in your mind or you have a specific exercise in your mind. So like people trying to get 100 kilo bench, like the 100 is scary, it's a big number. Or when you're trying to like full plunge, suddenly starting to practice without help all the time, without bands all the time, it can be a bit scary. And for me, it also weighs on my mind like, oh, this is full punch, this is difficult. So to remove that factor, what I do is I just take steps with plunges that are the same but different, like difficulties that are the same but different. So these bands make it easier, but then the weights make it harder. So in general, this is like kind of the same weight as a full plunge, I believe, but I don't know for sure. And that gives me ease of mind, it's a plunge, but it's not a plunge. So I don't have to worry about, oh no, full plunge without help. But at the same time, I can get, the same stimulus for my body, the same difficulty. And then when I finally like remove the weights and I remove the band, I'll just try the plunge and most likely I'll be like, hey, I can do this now. And, I did just like a bit of a roundabout, a bit of a long way to the plunge, but it will give me like ease of mind training it. And if you're on a plateau, like, full plunge, you can't unlock it, plunge is way too difficult for me. Doing it like this will mentally help you, I believe. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now is some pull-ups. When I left off on the pull-ups, the touch pull-ups, I did, I think, 5 reps for 3 sets. So if I can get 4 sets for 5 reps today, that will be massive, and that's gonna be the last like main part of the training. So this was main push. I'm now gonna do the main pull, and then afterwards we're gonna do some accessories just to keep the body fresh for next time. Okay, 4 sets done. That's nice. I'm happy with that. To be honest, after the push-ups, I didn't know if the pull-ups were gonna go okay, but it was okay. So I'm happy. And now it's time to move on to accessory. Now, today accessory is a bit different. It's not gonna be like just push-ups or dips. I'm just gonna do planche and front lever as my accessory because the way I decide my accessories is as follows. I check my main part, so in this case the push-ups and the pull-ups, and I look at the sets and I think to myself, if I only did this for weeks on end, what like what part will get weaker? Which stimulus will I be lacking? And in the case of the push-ups, it's gonna be like planche holds and presses because I'm moving a lot in the push-up, but I'm not holding a lot. I'm holding a bit because I'm pausing it at the bottom and the top, but it's not enough to keep a strong planche. If I only keep doing this, my planche hold itself will actually get weaker. So for the planche, I'll do my presses as accessory, and for the front lever, you might notice if you put weight on your feet, your range of motion actually becomes shorter because it's the same thing like you have your lever, the weight is out of the lever, so to hold it up, you need more compensation, and you compensate by like leaning more. Like in the planche, if you lean a lot, it becomes more difficult. In the front lever, if you like go back a lot, so your arms are not here but here, then that's also more difficult. And if you have your arms more down, then the range of motion in the pull-up becomes less. So yeah, the most difficult part in the front lever pull-up is when you go up. But if you are more down here, then you don't have to pull up as much, and that's going to become weaker in my case. So I'm just going to do 1 set where I kind of like go hard, kind of trash, and I don't know, like 80% maybe, but a bit of a longer set where I do some pull-ups and I do some presses just to get used to the normal range of motion. So anyway, if I do those accessories, I know that even if I just keep doing like the main part push-ups and pull-ups, I'm gonna remain in a great shape and I can keep getting stronger. That's like kind of the point of the accessory, right? So anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention, with these accessories, I like to do longer sets because it's kind of like in bodybuilding or powerlifting, you have time to just horse the biggest loads you can imagine, hoist the biggest stuff, dash out the most power you can imagine, not care about the form. And you also have times, to be a bit more science-based, focus on like the activation, focus on the muscle, focus on the form. And with the accessories, I think it's important to do the second one, the science-based stuff, focus on the activation. Okay, so on the last sit, the activation felt good, but the form wasn't as good as I expected. So let's see if we can fix it with a short sit here on the last planche press. All right, I think that was better. Okay, so now all that's left is a quick sit or two of pull-ups without weight on the feet. Focus on the range of motion, retraction, and stuff like that. And then we have a good training. Whew. You know, every fucking time I'm surprised by how pumped my back can get with just one set of front lever. I really just love it too much, this movement. Anyway, I did some planche presses, did some front lever pull-ups. The planche presses, actually, I really need to start fixing that. I'm bending my arms, you know, it's not a good thing. When I just go in the hold, I can straighten my arms. But as soon as I start pressing, I just bend them. That's not good. Anyway, you know, I can't complain about this training. I feel like next time I'll have grown stronger again. Maybe the push-ups will go better again. But anyway, I'm happy about this training because I was able to get in the zone again, push myself hard, and also the bands help with that, you know. The band and the weight, even though the difficulty is probably the same or more difficult than a normal planche, it helps with your mindset, you know. If you're scared about failing like a big movement, a big number in like deadlift or bench or whatever, or dips, like the fact that you have it in your mind, I might fail this because it's difficult, that alone will increase your probability of failing the actual movement, you know. If you have failure in your head, the likelihood that you'll actually fail is bigger as well, even though you might have the strength to do it. So to get around those things, just make sure that you can slightly change the exercise so that you don't have failure in your mind. You know, in my case, it's with the band and the weight, and I know that, hey, it's not an actual planche. I'm okay. I can do this. And well, today I wasn't able to do it very well, but there is a big difference because I thought I'll be able to do it and then I failed. But at least I failed giving it my all. While if you are scared to challenge like a certain movement, even though you might have the strength, you may not try with all your strength because you're scared to fail, and that's something you want to avoid. But anyway, tomorrow is leg day, and I'll be doing the squat volume, so I'm a bit nervous as well for that, but we'll see how it goes. See you tomorrow.